GM, welcome to the 75th consecutive episode of Wonky Weekly Alpha. That is correct, 75 straight weeks, not 74. I apologize, Yagaman. I don't know how I ended up putting the 4 instead of the 5 there. And I apologize, Ellis. I don't know how the intern messed up and, put this for 12 hours later in the middle of the evening rather than the correct set time. But I appreciate both of y'all for the corrections and for helping get us to where we are right now. So if you are new and you were in the audience for the first time, which I recognize the majority of y'all down there, feel free to hit that request button. We'll bring some of you guys up here. Actually, we'll bring all you guys up here. It's not nearly as intimidating as what it looks like. And yeah, we do this episode every single week just to hang out, catch up on the vibes of the community, see what's going on in the NFT marketplace and just the marketplace in general. So feel free to hit that request button, come on up, join the crew, and we will get rolling. Mr. Rooster, what is going on, my man?
What up? What up? Just counting how many of these mashups Yakima just posted on mine. I'm at like 13 right now, so 14. Yeah, unfortunately, I put this man through a lot of work mashing countless rugs that I've bought into.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jakobit needs to come up here. Now that he's officially already doxed his voice, I see no need or no reason why he shouldn't come up here and talk to some of his favorite mashups. Because the last time he came up, we just basically got to hear about Italian water. And, I don't know if he actually really did get a dive into his favorite mashups, which is one of the things that we were promised whenever he first brought up coming up here in the first place.
Final number is 17. So out of all the mashups he just posted, 17 are mine.
I wish I could do the meme where you're kind of going like, I don't really know. The one that you always do all the time where it's kind of like, I don't know if it's blowing smoke, whatever it is. Shoot, dude, but we need to be able to put um, more emojis up on the reaction screen than what they give us access to. Though this is a way better suite than whatever they gave us. What was it, like 6 months ago, when everything that they had was just absolute trash?
Yeah, when they took away the fist for
They
the
took
first
away the
time.
fist. They took away the 100, which made no sense to me. I don't get why the 100 would ever be offensive in any room whatsoever, but they took away the 100. That was a huge deal. 80s flex was always that he still had it and nobody else did because he didn't update his app. But yeah, man. So wait, you gotta pin up what your favorite Yakimet mashup is. I want to see the one I always think of.
My person out of like the ones he's made for
Yeah.
me. Oh, I'm wearing
So
it.
the
This
PFP, I
is
love it
probably the best.
with the panda.
Yeah, it's probably the best mashup in the entire like history of stonk mashes. And the reflection of the 500% God candle in the glasses too. I mean, come on now.
Wait,
Like this,
shoot! I didn't realize
there's
the
not.
reflection was hidden in there.
Oh yeah, there's not a
Oh,
better
dude,
mash than
that's
this one.
insane. Okay, yeah, I never saw that, man. Yeah, the details he absolutely crushed with that one. It's funny though.
And it's like it's perfect PFP style too. Like, this is what you want in a stonk mash, in my opinion. I may be slightly biased, but
The one I always think of when I think of you, I always think of the Psychedelics Anonymous one from back in the day.
yeah, back when we weren't poor.
back when PA was still like 4 ETH. Um, but yeah, basically. I don't know, but hey, do you like is Polly actually launching his shitcoin right now?
Honestly, I have no idea. I I can give a shit.
Like,
To be to be honest, honestly, I have no idea. Is that the one that he like grifted for like $10 million 2 months ago or so?
dude, here's my assumption is that he grifted it for X amount, right? And I don't think it was 10 million. I think he did get over $1 million though. He basically just created an address that said something along the lines of you get nothing.eth, and people just sent him over a
Yeah,
million
he made
dollars.
two. He made you get something and then you get
Oh,
nothing.
okay. Well, so maybe it was a couple million, whatever it was between it. And my assumption is, dude, if you get people to send you that much, and you've already grifted your way to that much capital, most likely you've got more that you can extract left in the bank by just creating the token. So I think it would be low IQ for him not to create a token at this point, because it at least follows through with some type of deliverable. And at the same time, for his sake, he probably also makes a lot more by doing it. So I would assume that he actually is. And I think I saw that he was hosting a space talking about it, and people were paying ridiculous gas fees to be able to try to claim it.
Has it already launched?
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now, man. I just saw that he was
Thank
hosting a
God. That'd be the
space, and
easiest.
he had like a couple thousand or a few thousand people that were in it. And whenever I tuned in, there like he just has music going in the background. And the space's name
Yeah,
is
I mean, gas
Lunch.
at 88 right now, so it is possible. Without looking at the chart, I'm gonna guess how it's gonna
Yeah, yeah,
go.
okay, there it is. Polyox. He's calling it PNDX, Pond Ox. So there officially is a contract out there that
The fuck?
exists, and the shitcoin apparently is live. So I don't know. Yeah, again, based on the way that meme coins and everything are pumping right now, I wouldn't be surprised if it does have some type of a move. But like even looking at the Ben.eth later launches that he had, right? Like I'm not sure how the Pond Ox supply looks like, and if it's manipulated anything more than what the Ben.eth tokens were. Um, Dude, I'm already blanking on what the Ben.eth tokens were outside of Ben.eth, because that's how irrelevant that's already become.
It was like psyop
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
minting or
psyop.
some stupid shit.
So I'm not sure if it's going to be a psyop type thing or what. One thing that I can absolutely 110% guarantee you, I will make the largest bet that you want to make, is that this token's going to zero. Like,
Oh yeah,
eventually.
it's one of those things. By the time you talk about it on a space, if you don't own the token, you're gonna lose money if you think about
Yeah,
buying.
yeah,
Like you
yeah.
got 10 minutes. You have 10 minutes after release to buy and then sell in that first those like first 3 5 minute green candles, and then it's gonna retrace like 80% and then relief rally like maybe 40% from there and then bleed. Like it's the same exact chart printed every single time.
Yeah, dude, I think the one thing that I've really realized over since I sent out my tweet yesterday about meme coins and shitting on some of the tweets that I've seen out there, I've really realized that just in general, first off, that tweet came off way too harsh. I'm not sure if you were listening to the space, but like I think it was more so targeted toward people that were talking about 20, 50K type of coins that have literally zero involvement in those projects whatsoever. So they don't even know what's going on with the contract, what's going on with anything else. Then they're talking about it. Like that type of stuff, where your follower count's higher than TVL, like it just doesn't really. I don't think that makes sense in any scenario to really talk about. But I think that I was a little bit too critical from the perspective that I think that there are a lot of meme coins that obviously are moving right now. People are having fun. It's part of the meta that has actually been semi profitable, or I say semi because you take the average of the whole of all the all the rugs that exist in the midst of the absolute moonshots that are out there also. And yeah, like, I felt like a little bit of a boomer for the way that I approached it, man. I feel like I lost a little bit of, while I was reading through some of the comments, starting to remember a little bit of the magic of, when I first entered the space, some of the, the fun and some of the stuff that like people do dream of are entering into some of these meme coins and just having them run up and having everybody else be angry about what's happening and just enjoying the ride as it happens, knowing full well that you may get rugged in the process.
Would you say that coins like Pepe are easier to trade rather than like ETH or Bitcoin in a market like this? Like it's easier to, gauge movements.
I think Pepe's already at the point where I would say that it's kind of fully saturated to where it's a mainstream coin. But for instance, like Bitcoin, aka Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10 Inu, I actually think that there were some opportunities where it's like I looked at that chart multiple times and it looked incredibly bullish. And like each time where it had this bullish, it followed through to new highs. Give me one second, I send this. And yeah, so anyway, like it ended up following through to new highs, and I do think that it was a little bit easier to trade, both from the technical and the meme perspective, than a lot of these other majors that are just sitting out here in this infinite shop.
Yeah, that's the reason I asked because I pretty much have the exact same sentiment. Um, the little bit of trading I have done recently has been pretty much with Pepe and Solana, on leverage.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, Pepe might trade a little bit more in step with some of the other memes right now, but I really just think it's at the point where it's been saturated. By the time a lot of these reach a centralized exchange, it just feels like it doesn't have the same type of special it factor that it used to, right? Like I don't see anything at this point really distinguishing and making Pepe a better type of investment than just like a Doge or a.
No, for sure. I just meant, in pure short term scalps, it's going to have like a larger percent movement compared to like ETH and kind of go off the same sentiment. So, when everyone starts feeling, charts going up, people are bullish, it'd be easier to make a profitable trade on, a quick scalp off Pepe than it would be on like ETH because it's in a tighter chart.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like it's a higher beta play. So, if ETH is going lower, it's probably going to be, it's probably going to lose more. But yeah, if ETH is going higher, I would expect it to outpace it as well. So I think it's still a higher beta play on the market. And if you're bullish right here, then, longing some type of coin like that, if you're on centralized exchange, might make more sense than playing or not even longing if you're just accumulating some type of spot looking for um you know just waiting until the next breakout actually happens might not be a bad idea to accumulate something along those lines if you've got the risk tolerance for it. If you're still looking for like a multi-year just buy and hold, tell your grandma, tell your parents what to invest in type of thing, I would never tell them at this point to look at something like Pepe. But, at the same time, yeah, if you're talking to another DGen down the street, then, probably more fun.
Um, Question: has anybody heard a single thing since last week, or actually since the day after Pentoshi released those penguins?
From
Anything
him about the
happening with them?
project.
Yeah, after the second day, like it didn't mint out. I haven't heard or seen a single thing about it.
The only thing I know is that they cut the mint to like 3,000 pings is all that were adopted. The last thing that I've seen No, I haven't really seen anything else since it minted out. I mean, I say minted out since the mint was closed, I guess I should say. So I don't know, man. It'll be interesting to keep track of. I still wouldn't completely rule out the possibility of him doing something with it. I DM'd him, asked him what was going on with it, and he told me that there were things in the works that he had planned as far as these partnerships with the games that you were talking about last week, and he had things that were lined up, and it's one of those things where I guess we'll see. But yeah, it is a little bit interesting that there have been zero tweets at all that I can find, and maybe I've just missed them since then. Have there been any other major mints at all since that? Like anything else that's competed either from CT or NFT Twitter over the past couple of weeks, or has it just all been meme coin stuff? Can y'all hear me at all? Like, is there anybody up on stage that's gonna? Okay,
Yo, what up,
somebody
Claire?
give me something here. What's going on, Sandy?
Bro, big time fan. I'm a Cleo stan for sure. I'm also close mutual friends with Bitcoin Birch. I think you know him pretty well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Still waiting for that one-on-one challenge against you for bags, but we'll take that up on another day.
Wait,
But
one-on-one challenge for
basketball for bags for your Doge bag. I'm ready to play you one-on-one anytime you want.
Hey man, I got to keep getting back in shape first. I'm working on it.
Well,
Like my ankles are glass though. That's the only issue.
oh man, yeah, that's not good. I kind of have a burner, but like I'm short. I'm 5'8", only 170 pounds. So you just like back me down every time. So
Okay,
yeah.
I might be able to get some post work in then.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, man, just to touch on the meme coin thing, I think like something that you said yesterday. I got on stage, but I had a work call, so I had to hop off. I think like because we've been for the past 5 months gone up 100% through this last month of just like absolute chop and nothingness. People are looking for something, right? Because people can't sit on their hands. They want to degen in something. So I think that's why we're seeing all this meme coin activity. Personally, I've always been against it, but for the one time that I try to like get involved. I actually bought some fucking shit competitor of like, what is the one that went off like Rollbit or something like that? I don't remember what it was, but, and then there was no liquidity and my shit got stuck. Like I had a ton of slippage on the ETH when I tried to swap it, and now I can't even swap out. Like, thank God I didn't invest a lot. Like, whatever. I just it was like a degen play, but like I can't even get my money out. It's just stuck in that shit coin.
Yeah, and that's why I said like there's been a semi level of success, right? Because people are always going to point out the winners that have absolutely crushed it. And, it's easy to forget about all the others that have just trended to zero, and the majority have, right?
Correct.
Even the ones that you see people, tweet about on the timeline, you'll see all these people posting their winners, and they don't
Right.
post the charts that happened 2 hours after they posted these wins, where they just get completely rugged back to zero. So there's this perception that everything is running, and it is, in a sense, for a minute, but the majority of these all just end up getting rugged straight back to zero, or beneath whatever the initial price of whatever person is flexing how they made multiples is pretty quickly. So
I am
it's a dangerous game. People are
I
willing to play it, but it's a dangerous game.
I agree. I'm the definition of being someone else's exit liquidity. Like I was literally that guy. So what are you gonna
Have
do?
you had any winners though?
No, because like again, it was like a one-time thing. I've like faded ever going into any of these shitcoin meme coins. The one time I try it, I got fucked, and now I have like a sour taste in my mouth. So I'm going back. Like I'm not a trader. I'm like a accumulate over the bear market and then reap the rewards. Like that's what I did. I literally bought the top of 2017, and then when it went to the bear market, I just had weekly buys from 2017 to 2020, and then that's how like I feel like that was successful the first time around, so I'm trying to do that this time around and not try to pretend I'm a trader, if that makes sense.
No, that definitely does, man. So I'm curious, has anybody up on stage had any of these big winners? Rooster, what about you, man? Have you caught any of these memes that have really taken off and actually found a way to exit at a point that you were able to take some type of profit from it?
Yeah, I mean, I had a great month from like mid-April, from like the start of Pepe to like just about a month after, pretty much until four kind of, and I even tweeted about it when it was releasing. I was like, "This is gonna mark the top of four is gonna mark the top of this mini meme coin season." And then lost a little bit on that. I still thought I was a little bit better than the market at the time, so took a haircut on that. Took a lot of profits, bought into some NFTs at the local high, so took another haircut on that, and then kind of just stepped back. But between mid-April, mid-May, yeah, I had a great month.
So what about the past month? As we've kind of seen this resurgence, have you been more on the sideline, or is it just not necessarily in the right rotation play? Like, because we have really seen a resurgence the past month where it's felt like a mini April.
Oh, for sure. And I've definitely missed out on some bags being. I don't know if you've noticed, but yeah, I've been off the timeline for the past month. We're going out paddle boarding in the mornings, just touching some grass, spending some time with the girlfriend, doing other things. Yeah, definitely miss out on some bags, but haven't been too worried. I thought probably the worst thing I could do was come back in and try and chase something. I did log into an old account though and found like a trading bag that I had in there, so I got a free little stimmy.
Dude, that is always the absolute best whenever you're just going through wallets and you find some type of shitcoin that's hidden on there that you didn't realize was still on there. And you're like, oh man, like I actually have some spare ETH.
Bro, it wasn't even a shitcoin. It was USD. I had closed out my trades, and it was fucking yeah. So it's not even like it bled for the last month while I forgot
So
about it.
what'd you do with it?
It's still there. I'm waiting to find a sweet little juicy leverage long to just risk it all on, which might be
I
Doge
respect
when
that.
it might be Doge when it hits your little green zone.
Bro, I would love it if Doge actually does do that. We'll see. I mean, I like I've had this bag of Doge for a while. I hope that it plays out one way or the other. I'm just sitting on it, but my real hope for Doge right now, selfishly, is that I think it would be amazing right before that World Series of Trading competition for Doge to kind of just be at this bottomed out, depressed point where everybody gives up on it and just ride some type of leverage long from the bottom without having to really make any other trades throughout the rest of the month and just let it rip. That would be the absolute dream, is if it bottomed out right around the start of that competition. But we'll see. Like it'd be fun,
When does that
and it'd
start?
make things a lot easier. August 7th.
Okay, so we're looking
So
like
all the pre-registration, you've got like there's a little over a week for the pre-registration. The only minimums for anybody that are trading, just $500 minimum equity in the main account entering into the competition is number one. And number two, to be eligible for anything throughout it, just a minimum of $30,000 of trading volume throughout the course of the month of the competition. So those are the two things. But yeah, so anyway, it starts August 7th, and it'll be interesting because actually, like, it is a pretty big bag at the end if you end up on the top side of it. But the issue is, to end up on the top side of something like that, as far as P&L percentages, you just have to have something like that for a degen type of play that just multiplies out to be able to do it, right? Be able to catch a big win, multiply it early, and then basically manage from there. Um, you know, then you start managing the risk a little bit more, right? But if you play it too safe, which this sounds bad, if you play it too safe, most likely you're not going to end up winning anything, right? Like, so it's one of those things where you basically have to adjust your risk curve a little bit, understand that it is either go big or literally go home with it from the
So you're
get-go.
saying it's exactly like a poker tournament. You start off with want to do a couple double ups early, sit up there
Yeah,
with fast stacks and then manage your stack properly until the end and then choose your plays
yeah,
accordingly.
exactly.
Rooster, I play poker, and I was literally thinking the same thing, and you beat me to it. It's just like a tournament.
So, and I
Speaking
mean,
of
I guess
poker, Kaleo.
we should probably put something together for August. I need to figure out when, but we'll get together a stonk tourney sometime in August.
Kaleo, you should host a Doge bag poker tournament where you buy in with Doge. That
Dude,
would be sick.
that actually would be sick. I need to look into the logistics of it, but that would be a pretty sick idea as well, because I think there are a lot of people that are just degen Doge accounts that I'm sure would hop in just because of the fact that Doge is associated with it whatsoever.
I have a platform that I could help set that up with you if you ever should be interested. There's an app that I host daily like cash games, and it's called the Poker 2 app. So we could also create a tournament style on there as well.
Have you ever played on the stonk tourneys that we've hosted?
I have not before. No, this is the first time I hear about it.
Okay, you've got to hop in. We honestly do them probably once every few months. And
what's it hosted on?
What is it, Rooster?
This is just the shitty website Poker Now.
Poker Now. God, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've just hosted them on Poker Now, and I just look at the winners at the end and just basically send stonks from my bags.
That's sick. What's the entry?
Oh, I mean, just owning a stonk.
It's donating Rooster a stonk, and he'll accept you.
So yeah. Anybody that owns a stonk can enter, and I mean, typically, these aren't massive rooms. We're talking about somewhere 50 plus, plus or minus 20 people. And, at the end of the day, I'll just give away somewhere in the range of 5 to 7 stonks. So, actually, I think what I typically do is 6. So 3 for first, 2 for second, 1 for third type of thing.
Man, I feel salty that I missed out on these. I'm in on the next one for sure. I'm literally in an Uber on the way to go play poker at a casino right now.
Sandy, what you really missed, the 1 year anniversary. I'm not going to be able to match this, not in the market that we're in. The 1 year anniversary, dude, I gave away a lot, man. I gave away 2 pandas. And the panda floor price is a little bit lower. I think it was only half an ETH or something at the time, but I gave away 2 pandas, a couple little pudgies. I gave away 6 or more, maybe 7 stonks. I gave away some plague frogs. I forget what else was in there. I know that the chubby verse, I gave away some of those. I gave away a lot, and there were only again 60 or 70 people that were in the tourney.
This time Claire's giving away his Bybit account, so make sure you're there.
Yeah. That would be illegal, Rooster. But yeah, man. So anyway, we'll find something fun for that either way. So I mean, we'll I guess have most likely 2 in the next few months, because I'll definitely do 1, even if it's not the same level as the last time. I'm sure there will be plenty of stonks given away for the 2-year anniversary as well coming up in October. So yeah, got a couple on the plate. You'll just have to look, and we usually do them right around this timing. So we'll do them during the course of the Friday Wonky Weekly Alpha episode. So what type of games are you going to play right now, Sandy?
I'm about to go play probably just 2-5 at Rivers Casino. I'm in the Chicagoland area. The game's pretty good there. Max buy-in is, I think, only $1,000. If we run it up there, we'll go to 510.
Yeah, I won't lie, man. I am absolutely god awful at poker. So there's a reason why every tourney I just give away stuff, and I don't actually enter and play myself. And I already know that I'm just going to be exit liquidity.
Hey, man, it's, some people are good at trading. Some people are good at poker. Some people are good at basketball. You're probably, got 1 out of the 3 at the very least.
Maybe.
But yeah, man, like I actually played on a live stream. Like I don't know if you've heard of like the Hustler Live or like Live at the Bike. I went to LA in March and played on Live on the Bike. Now they moved it to Vegas, and that was like the biggest game I've ever played. It was like a $25-$50 blind with a $50 ante. So it was a really awesome experience. So I feel like the poker scene and like the crypto scene one day in the future is going to merge really hard. I don't think we're quite there yet. Like Soul Casino, for example, like I went in there and tried to look at like the poker tables, and there's not a lot of activity. There's some other ones that have imitated Soul Casino, I think, where you could play for with different coins, and it's just like there's not a lot of people playing. But I think one day like those two worlds are going to collide really hard.
Sandy, I agree with you, and you probably haven't heard this story. I know a lot of people in the audience have, but the funny thing it was back in January, I started volunteering for Young Life again, right? And I walk in to the room. It was a training meeting, and I'm wearing my Wonky Stonks hoodie, and I thought there was no way in the world that anybody would know what Wonky Stonks are, right? Like zero possibility. And I had just realized that I had this thing, broke it out of the box, it was comfortable. So, of course I'm going to wear it out. And I walk in to that leader training, and within 5 minutes, introducing myself to somebody, he's like, "Oh, Wonky Stonks. That's like the Kaleo project, right? Like the NFT thing." And I was like, "Yeah, man, like that's my project." Dude drops his pizza. He drops his plate of pizza and his water bottle on the ground, and he was like, "Wait, no way, you're." So I come to find out, only reason that he was plugged in to the degenerate scene is because he's a full-time poker player. Like that's what he does full time is poker. He's like, yeah. So like there's a lot of overlap between the two communities, and that's how he had followed and seen my content previously, was because of that overlap.
I love that, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to hear more things like that. I think, again, I just think like the worlds are going to collide. Like, I think some of these crypto casinos are, I think like there's a lot of poker players that just aren't involved in crypto at all. And I think they're going to come slowly but surely.
This crypto casino, there could be another website called metavin.com. Have you heard of it?
Hot Rod, I won't lie, man. I could not understand a single thing you said right there. Your mic is a little bit scratchy too.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. So I was saying that this crypto game called metavin.com. Have you heard of that website?
MetaWin?
Yes,
I've
yes, yes. Metavin.
I've never heard of it personally.
Oh, okay.
So, what is it?
It's like a website that does give raffles. Basically, people just put in their ETH, like a small amounts of ETH, and then the whole website will do the raffles, and then they will give out the prizes for those who wins. So yeah, it's actually legit website though. I actually just today they had this trivia questions, basically 10 questions. So basically 10 NFTs to give out to 10 winners. So I was playing the whole time. This all the questions I tried to make an answer. You have to give out the answers as fast as possible. I kind of won the 10th question basically, and I I got the Ether NFT from them.
Nice, man. I love hearing when there are winners on sites like that. It's one of those things again, I guess going back to the house always having the edge. Where you don't always hear about the odds are actually, I take that back. You hear more about the winners than the losers on sites like that, because the losers are just silent and usually salty and embarrassed about the fact that they lost. The winners are going to flex their wins.
You're telling me it's not a
See,
coincidence that Rollbit's biggest winners are when they're doing a sponsored stream?
Bro, okay, that is like the type of odds that Rollbit gives them. And I think everybody has to know, right? Whenever you look at those streams, there's zero way that it's, and like you can argue about the fact that it is dodgy, right? But I think that if you just have some semblance of logic, for a fact that this is what's happening. So I don't mind it whenever I watch it because I'm like, okay, that is kind of badass. But yeah, like it's insane the type of wins that they just get on a daily basis during those shows. Like that is not reality. And yeah, so but I mean, just looking through that, you have to ask yourself, they've been able to give away over $500,000 so far this year. That's freaking incredible. Love that. But to be able to give away that much money, there has to be something else happening behind the scenes to be able to afford for Rollbit to be able to give away that much money, right? So, you just have to do the math.
The 90% of the off screen pays for the 10% of the giveaways on screen.
Sorry, I'm in the casino now. It might be loud, but I was just gonna say, Cleo, 100%, like it's positive EV for them to do that, because think about the crowd that is watching those videos and then are FOMOing in, losing piles of money.
Yeah. And that's what it is. So you just have to understand that out of the, say that there are 1,000 people that watch the stream, there might be one, maybe one, that is replicating something along those lines, and the other 999 are paying for the stream and for that one other person.
Hey, just so you know, if you ever get invited to gamble on a Rollbit stream, you say yes.
Yeah. Well, it's like the ice pudgy yesterday. Dude, first off, love that for both the Pudgy Penguin community and for the person that won it. I mean, I personally
and the seller
shocked that they just market bought this thing listed for 80 plus ETH when realistically I think the most recent ice sales were closer to the 30 ETH range.
Hey, congrats to the seller, man.
What's that?
I said congrats to the seller on that penguin.
Yeah, that's what I was really saying. Like, congrats to the seller for having it listed because it was the lowest one listed. But realistically, you look through it, it's like I think the most recent sales were 20, 30 ETH for an ice skin. And that's probably realistically what they were. But Rollbit was like, F it, ape in, we're buying it. So it was incredible. And it's one of those things. I mean, yeah, it helps the seller. It obviously helps the person that received it, and it helps the Pudgy community also because the optics of it. So win. And Rollbit just said, "F it, like we don't care if this is the actual fair value market or fair market.
It's not fucking our money that we're spending."
Yeah, it's your money. You don't realize it, but we're buying this with your money. It's just redistribution, like. Call it what you want it, but it is just redistribution of wealth. Yeah, man. I don't know. Maybe I should take that Rollbit deal. Hot Rod, what's up, man?
Okay, so going back to the topic of what I said, I was like, my main idea was not to flex. So basically, I just wanted to know more about the NFT project that I got the NFT about. So have you guys heard about this Ether, and I don't know how to pronounce it. Sorry about that. So have you done any research on this NFT project? Because I'm also quite unsure about this project.
I never have.
No, I mean I've never done any research, but the sentiment that I got is wannabe Azuki riding the hype train, and then Azuki fumbled the bag, so no one gives a shit about Ether. But I don't know. I think there's some credible people behind it. Not enough to make buzz on my timeline recently, though. So,
well, just to be clear on Rooster's statement, he's never done research on anything. So, to knock that,
I have heard about Azuki though.
Okay, if you haven't heard about Azuki, then I don't think you really need to worry about the Ether NFT in your
Then, then what I'm planning to do right now is I'm going to sell off this NFT and then just get another Wonky because that's my plan anyway.
That's it, bro. That is
that's
it. That's the high EV play.
Yeah, you already knew. Came in, asked some questions you already knew the answer to.
Ellis, what's up, man?
Hey, oh yeah. So I was in a space the other day with that gold penguin that sold for like 69 ETH that Rollbit bought. for their bundle or their prize giveaway or whatever. The guy, he was like, "Yeah, I was actually down like 25K to Rollbit, and I had like 5,000 bucks left, so I just put it into that prize pool and ended up pulling the gold pudgy, and I think he sold it for like 45 ETH or something like that."
Dude was on full tilt and actually won. He said, "I was just gonna dump the rest of the 5K in on the
Right.
Hail Mary and came out on top." Hey, I mean, sometimes though, sometimes you hit.
And he was in a place that you don't have to pay taxes on like game show winnings or like winnings from the casino or anything like that.
Oh, yeah. So he was quote unquote from a place that you don't have to pay taxes to game show winnings or casinos or something. I'm just messing around.
The VPN location that he was using was. No.
It's like I don't know if you saw that TikTok investors video earlier today, where I still watch some of those videos that pop up. I love those, man. Where the guy was like, "Legal ways to avoid taxes," and TikTok investors had like a list of ways to be able to ensure that you get audited by the IRS. And like the stuff this guy put down on the list that he's making a video of, just the dumbest things in the world. That I mean, it's obvious tax fraud, and he's putting it out there for the world to see. Like, who is dumb enough that they're committing tax fraud, and then they're making a video flexing that, like trying to show it off? It just makes no sense.
Bro, we're in the day and age where people like to video their own crimes and then post it on social media for clout. Like, making the popo's job that much more easy. It's hilarious. Also, like when Blur, when they were doing the airdrop and they were like, if you are unable to claim, you might be using a VPN. Pretty much telling you if you're not.
Yes, exactly. They're like, so basically, yeah, you might be using a VPN and you might accidentally say that you're located in the United States. So you might want to turn off that VPN so you're not located in the United States. So that was the funniest thing. Direct, blatant example of like them basically telling everybody, use a VPN, you idiot.
Yeah, for anybody listening, as much as we do shit on soccer, I am a European citizen.
Yeah, forget the time zones, forget the accent, forget any other pictures you may have seen me post, anything else. I am as well. So really, really important to just get that out there.
I also do not condone or am affiliated with any topics of conversation.
Yeah, we are never affiliated with any topics of conversation on these spaces, ever. So just to be clear about it, all of this is not financial advice. This counts for all 75 episodes, as well as the other unofficial 100 that we've hosted as well. So yeah, like just to be clear.
The word alpha in the title is actually sarcastic. This is just a Wonky Weekly Friday show purely for entertainment.
Well, no, the word alpha is, just there to support Greek culture. Same with the name Kaleo um, in my bio. So, we just really like to support places of the world because once again, we are European, just like Yakimit. Yakimit, tell me, man, what is going on? What is good in your world? What is good up in Italy these days? Still hot?
GM, everything's fine here. Just very, very, very hot. It was a crazy summer until a couple days ago. It was like living in Africa, basically.
I did hear there was a major heat wave going through there right now.
Yeah. Near my town there was 47 degrees. I don't know Fahrenheit how much is it, but it's hot.
As a European citizen, 47 degrees is hot.
Yeah, and I mean, you as a European citizen, also, this is not me typing in the background 47 Celsius to Fahrenheit. I would never do that. Yeah. Oh my. Yeah, that's like 116.6 Fahrenheit, which I think is really hot. You know, like, again, not a U.S. citizen, so no idea if that actually is a big number or not, but it sounds big.
Yeah, I mean, if you get to 40 degrees, it's already a lot. So 47, it's basically
So,
Sahara.
do you live?
What's like the average on this time of year?
You said,
What,
what's the
sorry?
average this time of year?
Oh, 30, 35 in the summer. With some spike, yes, but not so hot like this summer. It was a streak of 1 month. Usually here in Sardinia, there's a lot of wind, so there are some days very hot, but then comes the wind and the temperatures go down. But this year it was 1 month, one streak that was incredible. We had also some days with the sand from the Sahara that covered the sun, basically.
Dude, I didn't realize you're in Sardinia. So you're there literally in the middle of the, I guess it's not Mediterranean. Would you still consider it's a Turin? How do you pronounce that?
Mediterranean.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's still.
Yeah, it's in the middle.
Yeah, which is crazy. So do you have a view of the coast from your place? Like, are you able to, go down to the water if you need to cool off? Is it an option? Or if you live in Italy, do you not even consider going down to the coastline?
No, I live in the coastline. My town is basically in the coast. 50 minutes walking, I'm on the beach. So it's not a big deal here.
So Yakubit basically lives in paradise, is what he's telling us.
Oh, yeah, I also shared some photos of my town in Discord some times ago. If you want, I can share some. But yeah, I basically in a paradise, yes. It's one of the best cities, small towns in Sardinia here. We have also a sea park, like 20 beaches.
Is it crowded by
in my
tourists, though?
town? Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the most research touristic places in Sardinia. Yeah,
I feel like that's the thing that I've seen, though, Yakimit, is just all these videos of the people that, like, these coastal towns are just so overcrowded that nobody can actually get down to the water. Nobody can actually do anything there. It's just shoulder to shoulder. And, in the middle of the summer, just completely over congested.
Yeah, but we are kind of lucky because where I live, we have just in my town like 40 kilometers, let's say 30 miles of coast with 20 beaches, different beaches. So the people are kind of spread in all the coastline. But in my town, we go from like 4K people in the winter, spread in all the territory, to more than 100K in the summer.
Oh, that's insane. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're doing all right over there right now, man. I am curious, though, to hear, I want you to post out of that thread that you just posted. I want you to pin up at the top your favorite mashup that you've done in that thread, and then tell us why.
Bro, you know what's wild is out of all 17 that he posted, all 17 of them were the rugs. None of them that he posted of mine are here. Like the plague, pandas, not like the pudgies, none of them.
Oh, no, absolutely.
So he turned trash into treasure is what you're telling me.
Yeah, I just used the 75 projects that disappeared. So there's no one legit project in this thread.
Oh, you're right. I actually can't
That's
read.
why.
I'm dyslexic.
Yeah. So I don't know if, let me see if there's someone that can be my favorite here. Maybe the Neon Demon, because there's some kind of good colors.
Dude,
but yeah, basically
I
all, yeah.
I got to go with the
All
Jungle
rugs.
Freak one. for me. The Jungle Freaks one was pretty sad. Like, I legit thought Jungle Freaks was going to be the next blue chip, and it was positioned to do so for a minute. And lots of hype as far as the artist behind it. And I
Every
like
new
I talked to the
project was
son.
positioned to be the next blue
No,
chip
no, no.
back then.
Tell me you do not remember Jungle Freaks whenever they first got kicked off, and tell me you don't remember them kind of having that type of feel to them.
No, for
I
sure.
have no
But
idea what that NFT project is.
again, every project back then felt like that.
But I mean, no, Jungle Freaks was really taking off. Like, lots of success behind it, up only type trajectory, and then all the fun about the racist stuff from the guy, which was super sad that that had never really come to light earlier, right? And it was something that was just, anyway, like, point being, project died, and that was one of the first ones that I've really seen that had that arc where it's like, oh shoot, even if these people are seem like decent people and they seem like they have their head on the shoulders, you never know what curveballs are going to be thrown that can kill these type of things. So but anyway, that was one of the first honoraries that I was ever given, and yeah. So, I remember that. Oh, dude, you put the zeros on there? I still like the zeros.
Oh yeah. There are some that maybe they're kind of cool, but yeah. Have you
But
heard
this is
about the
that.
zeros again?
Oh man, I see on there. Okay, the first big CT, one of the first big CT hype projects, by Meme Casso or whatever it was. What was the name of that project again? Man, this is just reminiscent looking through all these. Or it was Peep Casso, not Meme Casso. Pepe Casso.
Is it not Memiland or something?
I forget. Oh, Sneaky Vampire
No, it's not
Syndicate.
Memeland.
SBS, man. I definitely remember the SBS also. That was another
No,
big hype.
the real question, Kaleo, is when we get in Doge Punks.
Dude, like I said, ideally it takes a couple weeks. I don't want it to happen right now. I want to wait until August personally. We'll see. If I had to guess, I think August is pretty well aligned for that anyway. So, yeah, man. I just think it's too much of a coincidence that he would put the Doge logo right next to the X logo after the rebrand. A lot of people are just chalking it up to some type of he never had it there before, right? And you think the day that he makes one of the biggest rebrand moves in the history of his career, that it is just a coincidence completely that he puts the Doge symbol somewhere on his bio? I don't. So I don't know if it's going to be a couple weeks or a couple months, but I really think that it just makes sense to have a Doge bag for whenever it happens, right? Like, it's not one of those you just punt this massive long and you just sit. Like, it's one of those where you just have a bag, you wait for the day it happens, and when it finally happens, great. But you just slowly start to accumulate that bag up until that day. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm not in a rush for it to happen, but I'm still confident that it will. It is inevitable. Not as inevitable as Wonky Stonks, but it is still inevitable. So, yeah, man. We will see. But yeah, I'm just glad people are kind of having fun this week. That even in the midst of a little bit of down, that there are glimmers of hope across the space that people are finding. The vibes are still immaculate. It's right now. It's just all about surviving, man. Like, that's all that it is. It is just about surviving, continuing the grind, and realistically, survive until 25 and thrive. And I think 24 is going to be a good year also. 25 is going to be where a lot of fun stuff happens. So, yeah, I think the people that are here right now are going to be the legends of the next bull market. But ladies and gentlemen, with that, it has been a fun episode. Another great week. Rooster, I'll sit down, try to figure out some good dates for that tourney for this next month. So be on the lookout for that, everyone. And with that, we will see y'all here next week, same time, same place. Wonky Stonks are inevitable. See y'all later.
See you later, everybody. Thanks for coming out.